Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for this is your bonus reading for July. You have this card. It says prosperity lies ahead. You also have this card that says a time to give rather than take. And so definitely could be a very prosperous time for you. As I always say, Jupiter is in Cancer. And, Cancer trines Scorpio. So, for a lot of you, you are, all the water signs are going to get the benefits of having Jupiter in Cancer, of course, in a fellow water sign. It's going to be very beneficial to you. So, that is, of course, a good thing. And, this could lead to a lot of expansion, a lot of abundance coming in for you, Scorpio. It could represent, could even lead to new prosperous opportunities, which is kind of like the message I'm getting here is that, there could be some there's a more prosperous opportunity that is coming in for you. And this could be in work or business. The other thing is, and I can never get away from this message with you, Scorpio, is it's based off of past experience. So let's say, you're looking for a new job. It's like maybe you had a different type of job like 20 years ago, and you could be kind of like attracting something that I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but there could be a lot of similarities, and I would do it. Same thing with business as well, or whatever you do for money. It's like there might be something that is like somewhat similar to something that you've already done, and that's definitely popping into my head. In your current general energies, the first part of I'm doing a Celtic cross, obviously, and the first card is how you're entering into the energy of the reading. And you have the King of Wands, very fired up, very fiery energy in this reading in general. I feel pretty good about this for you, Scorpio. I feel like you're feeling like motivated, confident, bold, assertive. It's popping into my head as more of like a feeling that you're having, or maybe a better way to put it is like your energy. Your energy is feeling this way to me. So I feel like you're very motivated and all that other stuff. The one thing I will say that no one talks about with the King of Wands is that he's a little bit of a visionary. So he kind of has these like futuristic ideas, or he might have very innovative ideas in any area of his life. So I do feel that this is saying you are very intuitive, Scorpio, and it's time for you to like embrace those more maybe intuitive, innovative ideas that could lead to like growth, abundance, success, whatever for you. And I would really be working on any of those things, any of your crazy ideas, any of your plans, goals, wishes, dreams. That's where I would be putting my energy with this card. The other funny thing is that you have the Five of Swords. And so the Five of Swords is your crossing energy. And the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And the Five of Swords is usually a card of like a breakup, separation, or walking away from something. There might be some things that you have to walk away from here, Scorpio, which, has been a long-term theme for you that, there could be people that are creating, really the story that's come up for you many times before is that there could be people who cause burdens in your life, and those are the people you're walking away from. But really, I would say that the Five of Swords is about being willing to take the risk. So with the King of Wands, if you are having any futuristic ideas or any innovative ideas, and these ideas could be that you are wanting to create a business that you worked on years ago, but you're like doing it in a different way or something like that, right? Then maybe you need to take the risk to do that. And I kind of feel that's what this card is saying. It's like saying you need to put yourself out there in the sense that you're taking a risk. The thing about the Five of Swords is that he's the winner. So it's kind of like there's like some sort of win that really could be coming in for you here with this card. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about being adventurous, very spontaneous. I don't know, I kind of like this energy for you. I feel like you are just like, it's almost like you're looking at the month like a party, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It's like you're being more adventurous. Maybe you're moving towards more fun opportunities as well, which I think could be really good for you. I also have like the word puzzle popping into my head here, which again, the Knight of Wands doesn't represent this, but I read intuitively. So whatever pops into my head, I just say it. And, there could be, it's almost like you're discovering the missing piece of a puzzle. The thing about the Knight of Wands that I will say is that he's an adventurer. And so, obviously, sometimes people go on adventures to find things, right? And so, I don't know, if you're going on an adventure to find, like, a missing piece of a puzzle then in your life, or to find an answer to something, that would make a lot of sense. And I would definitely encourage you to do that, for sure. I encourage everyone to go on adventures right now because we need to experience variety. And the more variety we experience, the better. So it's a little bit chaotic, but we have Uranus going into Gemini. And so personally, I believe, and again, yes, this is personal. It's not really intuitive, but it's just more something that I kind of like see, if that makes sense. Probably not. With Uranus and Gemini, it's like I think we need to look at all the ways of doing things, but we also need, like, the more we educate ourselves on something that we're doing, the better. Let's say we have a job, and maybe there are multiple ways to do the job. If we learn all the ways to do it, and if we give ourselves the variety, that's like where the innovation will come in that Pluto and Aquarius requires for all of us. So that's why I encourage people to do that, because it's like, really, I don't have a good reason. I don't know why I feel like I always have to say this in readings, but I do. So there might be some sort of reason for it. There you go. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the King of Cups, which is amazing. The King of Cups is sitting on a solid foundation. He is sitting on this concrete, kind of looks like a concrete slab that he's sitting on. The whole point of the King of Cups is that he has these choppy waters around him, but he is perfectly fine. He's not worried about what's going on around him. And so for a lot of you, this could basically say that you are protected from things that are going on around you, just in general. And obviously that would be a good thing. And again, coming up in your foundation, it would say that this month, that you are coming at this month from a very emotionally stable place, which of course would be a good thing as well. This could also be love for some of you. There is a little bit of love here. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, Page of Wands. So if you're looking for love, this could also just be a very stable, secure person. And this is like, sometimes I look at the King of Cups as like the lighthouse in the storm, type of person. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Because if you're the storm and you're always flying off the handle, then maybe not. But, that's not what I feel here, Scorpio. So, I think this is this person is the type of person where they're just like an immovable force. We're talking about on the positive side of things, where no matter what is going on around them, they never get knocked off their square. And so it could be like just a very stable person that you're attracting if you want love. I also feel business as well, by the way. Like, if you are, it just randomly popped into my head as I put that card down. Like, if you're looking for a business partner, or if you're working on something, I have a podcast popping into my head as well. If you're doing a podcast and you're like, maybe you have a person that you're going to be doing it with, I don't know, could be very good for you. It could be like a very stable person who's very good at what they do. Next, in the area of the past, this is what you are releasing, what you're walking away from. You have this wasp spirit. It says, sometimes life stings. Yes, you're a Scorpio. You understand that. You have this chameleon. It says, act as if. One of my favorite cards in this deck. So with the chameleon, it's kind of the card that says you just have to be the thing you want to be before you can be it. I feel like you've experienced many stings over the past many years. Scorpio's definitely had it, definitely one of the signs that I would say has had maybe a few more challenges than everybody else, or most of the other people. And, I feel like these challenges have affected your emotions for the most part, or hurt you emotionally. And now I feel you're just kind of like letting it go, which is probably a good thing. Also, in the past position, or the energy of what you're moving past, you have the Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is kind of like enthusiasm and, kind of like going on an adventure. Part of me just feels with this and the Knight of Wands that the reading itself is just saying you're starting the adventure. So I don't really feel much on this Page of Wands. Page of Wands is enthusiasm. One thing that is popping into my head, though, intuitively for you, Scorpio, more of like a channeled message, is that I think it's almost like you are waiting for more evidence before you get excited about something, and here's what I mean. It's like, instead of getting really excited about a new relationship, for example, like on day one and falling in love, it's like maybe now you have learned to give it a few months, right? Maybe now you have learned, like, okay, it's good to be happy, it's good to be excited, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be excited, but instead of just like being like, oh, I'm going to marry this person today, maybe saying, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this for what it is, and of course I'm going to be excited because we should, right? But I'm also going to wait until there's like, solid evidence that this is a person that I would spend time with, right? And, there was an old man that I used to know, and This is going to sound wrong, okay, Scorpio, so bear with me. But I feel like Scorpio can handle this. And he used to say to me, if you were not having sex with this person, would you still want to be with them, right? That was like his advice to people, right? Is like, if there was no benefit to you in being with that person, would you still choose them? And it's like, it's almost like I feel like Scorpio is being more honest about that. You know, it's like instead of looking at a person and saying like, oh, they provide me with this, instead of looking at like what they provide, just saying like, if they didn't provide that, would I still want to be with them? Like, I feel like that's a good test to find out, right? Would you really want to be with them or not? I don't know. So, but I feel like I don't even think this is just relationships though. I think this is like jobs, you know, pretty much everything. You're like saying, you know, is there enough really here? Is there enough meat on the bone for me to want to stay here? Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this run wild. It says, let your inner child run forth. Yes, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. These are, and we are definitely in a time where I think people need to be more playful, less serious. Because everything is so serious, we have to go the other direction. You have this emotions or a reflection card. It says, look for the deeper meaning. Yeah, you have a lot of emotion stuff going on here in this reading. So I think it could be an emotional month, but not in a bad way, Scorpio. You know, again, King of Cups is very stable emotions. And he's not like crying, screaming, yelling, freaking out, or anything like that. So, you know, it could just be a time where you're processing emotions, but you know, I don't think you're like losing it or anything like that. I would definitely follow your emotions though. Like if something feels good, I would move in that direction for sure. Next, in the area of also I should say, in the area of the very near future, you have the Page of Pentacles. Definitely could be a new person coming in for you if you want love. Again, the Page of Pentacles is a great card for learning, you know, and just looking at something as a learning process and saying, I am just learning from this new thing. Instead of like putting all this pressure on it and be like, oh, I already know the names of our children. I already know what I'm going to wear on my wedding day and blah, 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 you know, all that other crap, right? I feel like this is saying, just look at it as a learning experience and no attachment and see how it goes, especially if this is a new person. Page of Pentacles, I also do feel for some of you there's like something new work-wise. I had podcast pop into my head for some reason, so it's like clearly one of you is starting a podcast, but or something. And if you are, by the way, I think it'll go very well. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do feel that things will go really well for you, so I would go for it. Page of Pentacles is also like something new, so there could be like something new coming in for you with this card. Next, in your outcome row, you have this exploration card. Yeah, Knight of Wands is all about exploration. It says, right now you need to search and explore. It's okay to wander until you find home. Yes. You have this Gemini card. It says, speak your truth. It says, choose your words wisely. Remember that your words have consequences. Yes, I think you need to also make sure that you are choosing your words wisely. I feel like we all need to watch our words at this time. Like a lot of people get these cards. Like all these decks that I use, they all have, you know, some sort of card in there that says basically the same thing. And so I feel that a lot of us, we need to make sure we're speaking the world we want to live in into existence, right? We are kind of like between worlds right now. So definitely something to pay attention to. Next, over the next few months, you have the Six of Pentacles. Fairness, definitely more fairness coming in for you, Scorpio. This is something that we've talked about for a long time, is that things have been out of balance. I think either you've been giving too much or you've been giving to situations that are burdening you. And the Six of Pentacles is like equal give and take. It is more fairness entering into your life, which is great. It's almost like finally you are creating that fairness in your life where you're no longer putting yourself in positions where there is no fairness or where things are out of balance. I just really feel like you're paying attention as well here, Scorpio. Like it's not so much like what you're doing. It's like you can avoid problems before they even start, right? Just by paying attention. And that's kind of the energy I get off of the Six of Pentacles here. I also get like deals coming in for you as well with the Six of Pentacles. Like, I don't know, it's popping into my head that, like, you know, if you're buying something expensive like a car, you shouldn't just accept the first price. Like I would be negotiating it. I would be trying to get a better deal. But it also feels like to me that you could be getting a lot of deals this month for some reason. So, you know, if you are purchasing anything, I would definitely look for a deal or get a deal. You have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords can represent needing to see things clearly. You know, she is looking forward into the future here, and she is seeing clearly for the first time. You know, that's the whole point of the Queen of Swords, is that she is seeing things clearly for the first time. So a lot of you could be like looking forward into the future. You could be looking into the future in general. And yeah, there's something about that popping into my head. So, you know, again, if you're like, doing anything to see into the future, or if you're getting messages, I would pay attention to that. She's coming up in the area of your closest relationships. And like I said earlier, it's almost like you're stopping problems before they even start. That is exactly what you should be doing, for sure. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Hermit. Yeah, I feel like you feel like a major release here, honestly. It feels to me like, it's like, I don't know, like popping a zit, honestly. It's like, you ever have a zit that really hurts and then you pop it and it's like the relief. That's what I feel here for you, Scorpio. It's like a major relief type of feeling is what I feel. He's been through a dark night of the soul. He's been through something very challenging and difficult, and now he's coming out the other side. It's like the relief. But I never say that about the Hermit because, for the most part, I don't think the Hermit is done. But, I do feel kind of like this sense of relief, like you've gone through something and you're coming out the other side. And I feel like you will be feeling this month. Maybe not like today, but, maybe by the end of the month. Your outcome is a 4 Wands. Marriage, right? If you're attracting a person, definitely could be marriage potential. I always say you don't have to marry this person, and just saying that the potential exists. 4 Wands is also really the card of freedom, which is more important for you fixed signs out there. It's more important that fixed signs set themselves free from things that are holding them back. Again, this comes up for every single fixed sign that I read for. It is the dominant collective fixed sign energy because it's very important that fixed signs set themselves free. If there's anything in your life that is limiting you, getting in your way, or whatever, then I would either eliminate it or move past it or get out of it or negotiate it or do whatever you can, because the more you do that, the better your life will get. With the King of Wands and the Five of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Really good. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. Ten of Pentacles is building, leaving a legacy. And, a lot of you could be taking a risk on, creating a legacy, which is great. This could be anything. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is definitely something you will work on forever. It is not something, that happens overnight. So you are probably working on something here. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is heaven on earth. So with the Knight of Wands, you could be going on an adventure trying to create heaven on earth, or you are doing something to create heaven on earth, which I think would be amazing for you, Scorpio. Creating something very good or something that makes you very happy. Nine of Pentacles, also gratitude and luxuries. So this is coming up in the area of what's on your mind. So obviously practicing gratitude mentally would be a good idea with the Nine of Pentacles. Again, when it shows up like this, it could be that help you manifest in the area of your mind. So through like visualizing, being grateful, all that other stuff. With the King of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, I'm telling you right, very fiery connection. I'm pretty sure this came up for you in the next 3-month readings that I just did for you, Scorpio. I'm pretty sure that you had something like this where it was like a very fiery connection. So, definitely could be a very spicy connection that you're attracting. The Queen of Wands is also my card of learning as you go. So just know that if you're doing anything important at this time, you're probably not going to know how to do it. You're just going to have to learn as you go. With the Page of Wands, you have the Star card. Yes, the Star can represent like a wish or wish fulfillment or healing. It's coming up in your past position. And so basically it could say that you have healed or you are healing past something in your life and now you're moving forward. I also kind of just intuitively feel that some of you have been, like, for a very long time, haven't understood, like, what the big picture in your life is. Like, maybe you haven't understood, like, what your big picture goal or, what your, maybe you haven't even understood what your Ten of Pentacles looks like. And now I feel that you are, like, understanding what your Ten of Pentacles looks like. And you're starting to, like, put those pieces of the puzzle together. With the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords again. So, again, you're clearly seeing something very clearly with these cards. She's kind of like cautiously optimistic. She's willing to receive. She has her hand up, but she also has her out, but she has her sword up as well. So it's like she's willing to accept something that she wants in her life, but she's also willing to chop something out just as quickly if it no longer serves her. So, again, a lot of you could be definitely attracting something that you want and desire in your life with that card. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, like, I feel like you're finally setting yourself free, though. I actually don't feel too bad about this. This is coming up in the area of the next few months. And the Eight of Swords can represent self-imposed restriction, right? It can say that she is keeping herself stuck in these 8 swords. And, the problem with this card is that she is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways that she could escape her situation. But she has to be open to all those ways. And, but what I would say is I feel 6 of Pentacles is kind of like a card of planting seeds in a direction. So the 6 of Pentacles can say that you are exploring other ways of doing things. And, I'm not too worried about it. I do feel like a lot. And plus, you end with the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is a card of true freedom. It basically says that you are setting yourself free. With these Queen of Swords, you have the 7 of Cups. Yes, all the options. It's like, sometimes this right here could be you discovering that you have a lot more options in life than you realize. Or, you could be realizing that there's a lot more opportunity than you realize as well. So if you're like trying to accomplish something, or if you're trying to create something in your life, like in work or business or career or whatever, 7 of Cups would be you exploring your options. And I definitely would with the Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, we have to go on these adventures. We have to have these new experiences to be successful. So, that's what I would do there. With the Hermit, you have the Devil. Yes, every single person. Again, actually, in this set of readings, no one has had the Devil yet except for you. But in the July readings, in the next 3-month readings, everybody had the Devil. And so we really, really need to be careful of Devil energy for the rest of July, at least. I would say July and August. I haven't done the August readings yet, and I'm not going to until the end of July. And we will definitely see what comes up in those readings. But I kind of have a feeling like, basically both months that we should be careful of Devil energy. The Devil is obvious. The Devil is an obvious energy vampire. The thing about the Devil, it's something that steals your energy. It's something that makes you feel exhausted when you do it, right? And so it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be a person, place, or a thing. But if there are things that are stealing your energy, that's what I would be avoiding with the Devil, plain and simple. With the 4 of Wands, you have the 5 of Cups. Yeah, 5 of Cups is about letting go of the past. I think everybody has to do this right now. Like, there's like a little, there might be like a little part of our dream, or there might be a little part of something that we are wishing that could happen in our lives, or maybe there are things that we wish would have happened in our lives. And it's not that we can't have a similar experience, but it's like, for example, maybe you thought you were with the love of your life. And it's, by the way, my clock is wrong on my recorder over here. But it says 10:10 right now. It's actually 8:37 a.m., but this clock says 10:10. And so 10:10 could be an important number for you. But what I was saying with this card is that it's like, maybe you thought you were with the love of your life, but you weren't. And maybe there are parts of you that wish that you could still have that, right? But I think you could be attracting something much, much better. And, you have the 9 of Pentacles, which with the 9 of Pentacles, we can create heaven on earth. We just have to practice gratitude. So I feel that practicing gratitude, or being grateful for what you want, for what you have, or whatever you want to call it, would be a very good idea with the 5 of Cups. Because when he practices gratitude, he also gets this bridge in this castle over here. And so that's what I would be doing with that 5 of Cups for sure. And sure, we'll take both of these cards. Why not? But there you go, Scorpio. Let's see. You start with 2 cards here. You have this. They both wanted to come out together. You have this wreath. It says sorrow over a loss. You have this table. It says hard work ahead. Yeah, there is like I said, there's a little bit of an energy. I don't really think you're like sad about it, but I think we've all been there where we lose something that we thought that we really, really wanted. We really, really wanted it to work, whether it's a relationship or otherwise, and it just doesn't. And it could be a hard thing to admit. And I think that a lot of you could just be putting the work in to your life, and that's it. You have this fair woman. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And you have this marriage card. For some of you, there definitely could be marriage potential coming in for you if you want love. This could be you, could be a person you're attracting, could be any gender, doesn't matter. The funny thing is like when I put that card down, I heard marriage ahead. So you do have the 4 wands, which is marriage, but it's like I don't think you're getting married today. Like I said, some of you, sure, maybe, congratulations, but for most of you, I feel this is something that's coming in the future. Next, you have this happiness card. Can't make it up. Didn't I say something about happiness? I'm pretty sure that I said something about you like needing to be happy, or it's like there's something about, maybe I didn't. I could be making that up, but there's something about this reading that's really saying to me, to you, that the more you can be happy, the better. That's where you're going to attract things from. And so we have to do things that make us happy, right? This could be like hobbies, people that we love, not just in love, but I'm talking about like family, things like that. And, I get a lot of comments, and I'm not making a comment about the comments. I'm just saying I get a lot of comments. Anytime I say this, people say, ignore the comments. I'm like, I'm not talking about the freaking comments. I'm making a point. Bear with me. And your comment is more annoying than those people. And they're not even annoying. But what I'm saying is I get a lot of comments from people that say, I don't know what makes me happy, which is, I understand. It's like, you definitely can be at that point in your life. And so, and they ask me, what do I do? And I always say, well, you have to go do things that you think could make you happy. It could be going for a walk. It could be, going and trying a hobby. But it's like, yeah, you're going to have to try things until you figure out what does make you happy. And then once you do, start doing those things more often, as much as you can. Because again, I don't think we just get to be happy in life. We have to kind of like, I think we have to like farm it. It's like something that we have to, curate in our life. We have to find a bunch of things that make us happy, and then we have to go do those things. And the other thing about happiness is, again, sometimes happiness can be one of those things where, it's like maybe there's a responsibility that we don't like, but it makes us happy because of the result. Like, I don't necessarily like working out, but I do it because I don't want to be unhealthy, right? And so there you go, right? It's like sometimes there are things that we don't necessarily want to do that can also lead to happiness. You have this bell card. It says announcement on it. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, the knights in the tarot are considered messengers, but I always look at the Page of Pentacles as an announcement. I've always read him that way. Why? I don't know, but there you go. Definitely could be an announcement. You have this older woman. It says dealings or relationships in the older woman. You have this wind chime. It says peace and harmony. You probably need to surround yourself with people, or, this could say that there's an older woman that brings you peace and harmony, like a parent or a guide or a mentor, something like that. But this looks really good here for you, Scorpio. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.